Hey guys, I just want to start this video positive, thanking people who sent the nice messages, wishing us well, saying we understand why you closed, blah blah blah. And it sucks for people because a lot of people were fans of our service. Didn't really realize how much people liked us until a while ago when I got just a ton of messages talking about it. And to those people, I'm truly sorry and thank you for support. But I want to address some criticisms, and some of it was just in people's good heart. Some of it was people wanting to stay open, like, oh, reopen, just do this. I want to just go over some things here because there's some people didn't understand some things. So there's an army of geese over there. First off, I want to talk about shipping, because shipping is by far the most contentious topic. Guys, when people are like, oh, you could tax write it off, you can just tax write off the shipping. Amanda had done, because Amanda works for property management, and her previous property management company that she worked at for years had small businesses she needed to do taxes for. Anything that can get written off got written off by the proper amount. Amanda knows what she's doing. Shipping is just expensive in Canada. When I said before it was $25 to ship one car, what you guys need to understand is that doesn't mean I can write off every single order I get, because when you add another car, you're adding a lot more to the shipping cost. So especially with Carrera's track parts. With Carrera's track parts, they're long boxes, they take up a lot of a shipping box, they make shipping much more expensive. If I were to ship let's say a 1x60 pack of curves and a 1x32 car, it would be like $35 to $45. And that's with Canada Post, that's with discounts. That's how crazy the shipping is in this country. When people are talking about shipping and taxes and stuff, you don't understand how expensive it is in Canada. And again, I'm pointing out, because a lot of people didn't have an argument to this one, there's a carbon tax coming again. And when a carbon tax comes, when another carbon tax gets added on to the one we already have, it increases the shipping cost even for Canada Post. People can't afford it. A lot of the websites that do offer free shipping have astronomical costs added. I shouldn't say, it's a bit, but it's extra cost. We'll say that, it's extra cost to compensate for the shipping. There's no getting around the shipping. If people got squeezed too much, people can't afford to pay shipping anymore. That's fine. I will just go hold on to my current stock because stock cars are collectible, and eventually someone's going to want this and they'll pay the shipping cost for it. Next, I want to talk about Donald Trump and his tariffs. Because people are like, oh, the tariffs are just a bargaining chip, they're just a bluff. First off, I closed before the Trump tariffs even happened. Second off, I don't know why you guys keep thinking that Trump's tariffs are just a bluff. He put tariffs on us the last time he said he would. This president has done every single thing he said he would do. Why you think he's not going to tariff Canada as a possibility is beyond me, and you're the ones that need to take a look at that situation. And third off, he already hurt Canada's economy when he announced that. Okay, remember in the video I said we were recovering, and then when Trump even threatened the tariffs, Canadian consumers had stopped buying for 2 weeks after that was announced. Guys, that hurt. That hurt everybody. I guarantee you that hurt every Canadian retailer when that happened. The damage for a lot of small businesses was done. They weren't closing because of the possibility of a future tariff happening. They were closing because they already lost 2 weeks of holiday revenue and they had already had a slow year. It didn't matter about the tariffs. Stop looking at the tariffs, whether they happen or not. There was already damage done, and it was a huge amount of damage. And yes, you know what? It's my money. It's Amanda's money. And we have to take a look at the future of stock cars and be like, is this going to produce profit for us? And it just isn't. To us, it doesn't look like it. Even if Pierre gets elected, there's still a Trump presidency that's going to make everything go crazy. It's just not worth it. It's really not worth it. I want to point something else out too, okay? This is the thing that maybe bothers people subconsciously, but I'm going to say it. A lot of the good slot car clients are dying. Literally, you're dying. We don't have youth wanting slot cars or buying slot cars. So what's going to happen? It's just going to be Jover. Like, the large scales are going to have a harder and harder time. And you know what really tended to me a bad sign was when Carrera released another $400 slot car digital set. Okay, like last time it happened, it was like, I was like, oh, they had an online store, and I didn't mention this, but I'm pretty sure that the starter set, the first starter set they released, was actually from their online store, and I don't know if they reboxed it, or maybe they decided to re-release it for retailers. But I was like, okay, well, you know what, it's just for their 60th anniversary. Maybe they had overstock from their online store that they couldn't sell online, and they wanted to just, you know, give it to the dealers. But when I see a second digital set for $400 being released, I'm like, whoa, what happened here? You know, when we're talking about like $650, well, okay, maybe 600, we'll say 600-ish, and then they're releasing a special one for 400. It makes you think that they know the economy is slow. Like, I hear people like, oh, the economy's good, the economy's slow. From my perspective, it was good until this year. When it hit, last year, when it hit 2024, something happened in Canada anyways. And remember, I'm only talking for Canada. I don't want to hear these Americans being like, oh, the economy's good. I'm not talking about your country. I hate, that's my biggest pet peeve, is when I have people who are American commenters talking about the economy. The Canadian economy and the American economy is completely different. And the Canadian economy, trust me, you can watch any news source, conservative or liberal, it's not doing good. All right. I've also been having people like message me trying to have discussions about this and the business email and everything. Look, guys, I love you, okay? I do. I'm not going to talk about this. As a matter of fact, I'm really not going to talk much about slot cars, even privately. This channel's just on life support so I can get ad revenue. I'm putting out like minimum amount of video just so I can keep it monetized. I'm really not, like, you're nice people, but I've got other things I do other than slot cars. I'll post some update videos of my truck and everything as I build it. And like I said, just the odd video here and there like this one. But the community discussions, Amanda and I are just stepping away from the community. Okay, sorry. You know, it's just going to be, if you want to talk about those future slot cars, I think it's just going to be hard to sell these big slot car sets when people are living in their cars. Like, you have people wondering, why are Pokemon cards being bought by adults? Like, why are so many adults, look at all these trading card games. It's like the freaking 90s again with how many trading card games are out. I'll tell you why. Because you can fit some trade binders in your car's trunk. Like, if you have an apartment, you can put trading card collection in an apartment. They're small. They can go up in value. They're collectible. Slot cars are huge. And that's the other thing. This is a huge thing. People have said, well, just move locations. Just move your physical location. You know, the problem with moving the physical location is slot car track needs a lot of room. My slot car track wasn't even 50 feet running feet. It was like 45. Now, I could have made it 50 by doing a 2-laner. I didn't want to do that. If I did that, the slot cars were doing in bad shape, constantly banging against each other. But you need to have the track out to attract new people to the hobby. Like, not everyone's going to just watch it online forward and be like, oh, I want to get in this. You need to show people the value of it. So it's this catch-22 where I need a lot of space, but on the other hand, I'm not going to make enough rent off of it to cover the rent. Like, slot cars are just not popular enough. You have to, like, take a risk in investing, and that's a stupid risk. You're not going to make your money. Most of you are not going to make your money back by renting a big enough space for a decent sized slot car track. And no, like I said before, you don't just want to have a small booth full of slot car product. You're not going to sell it that way either. I gotta switch hands. I'm by the water. It's wintertime and I'm not wearing gloves because I have the camera. So what do? You have to find some flea market or some store way out in the boonies, like maybe even run out of a storage locker. And that's how you're gonna, well, maybe not a store, okay, whatever, sell product out of a storage locker. I don't really care. You have a track somewhere just to show off the product. And for those of you who think it's so easy to move and find that space and find that, even in the boonies, with business rent skyrocketing, good friggin' luck. Good luck finding a place that's 25 cents a square foot like I did. You're not gonna find it. They're gonna want you to have liability insurance, and you're gonna want liability insurance. Put that on your costs. And then you wanna talk about product. If you're gonna even sell product, because like I said, you're not gonna make rent. most of you aren't going to make a run. Maybe if you're in a huge city and you could find like a really good hole in the wall, you could on pure rental cars, but probably not. Good luck getting the product in, managing all that. It's just a giant freaking mess. And people think they have the answer to it. If you're one of those people who are going to keep chirping me on my messages about how I did this wrong, did that wrong, buy the friggin' product and show me how it's done. Do it. Just do it. Clearly, slot cars are that friggin' profitable that you can afford to do it. Because if you're living in a stupid little retirement home and you don't have the space to put it, you don't have the money to do it, I don't want to hear from you about what I did wrong. I ran this business really well for a number of years. It was profitable. It was only this year that it happened. And guess what? I don't want to gamble on it being profitable in the future. I guarantee you, this is the Sunday Slot Cars guarantee, the economy is not going to be able to rebound fast enough next year when Pierre takes the leadership. And you know why? Because it takes months for that to happen, for him to get in office. People are like, oh, Trudeau's done. That's another comment I keep hearing. Yeah, okay, guys. You know what? Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. At this point, I don't really care. The damage from Trudeau has been done. I really need to switch this before this dog knocks this out of my hand. It's going to take like probably a decade to recover from this fully. And that's a decade I don't have. So this is Sunday Slot Cars. Hope you learned something. Bye-bye. This dog has been out of control.